I want to say that it changed my life, you know, like all of these YouTube clickbait videos. But in a way, it actually did. One day, I decided to make a video. I sat down, I turned the camera on, and I started speaking. I felt very confident. The words were flowing. The topic was very interesting, and I enjoyed every second of it. And then I woke up. Just kidding. And then I listened to my own video, and it did not sound confident. In fact, it didn't sound at all like it was in my head. It was plain, it was boring, the voice was trembling and shaking, the confidence was just not there, and I was staring a lot without blinking. I really wanted this video to sound exactly like it was in my head, so I decided to challenge myself. This is day 1 of my talking to a camera challenge. Okay, day 2. It's day 3. It's day 4. It's day 5. It's day 6. Day 7. It's day 8. Day 9. Day 12. Day 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. 25. 26. 27. 28. 29. 30. It's the last day of the challenge. Before I share if it was useful and what have I learned, let me share some rules that I decided to follow. First of all, I am not a person who can commit to something and do it consistently every day for 30 days. In fact, I'm actually the person who starts 10 different hobbies every day. Instead of picking one person as an accountability buddy, I decided that all of my friends will be one, and I started sharing my videos online on Instagram and YouTube. Let me say that it was a very good decision that really helped me to finish this challenge, but it added some of the restrictions that I did not think about beforehand. For example, I wanted to keep the videos under 1 minute long, and I wanted to keep them as entertaining as possible, so my friends will actually listen to me do it for 30 days. And that was the set of rules that I did follow. I had other ideas that I really tried to implement, for example, no editing or only one take for a video, but that did not work. It's really difficult to keep it entertaining in these conditions, but I needed to make some trade-offs, and the accountability was way more important than making the video from the first try. Let's do something that I did multiple times throughout the challenge, and it is to see the difference between different days of the challenge. I was bombarded by 2 completely different thoughts, always extremes of course, because social media. Because there's only 7 days left. No, it's not even 7, it's like 5 days left in the challenge, and so I wanted to talk about the fancy equipment because I mentioned it yesterday and it just stuck with me. In the beginning, we're all trying to make these educational, useful videos. We go into full-on presentational style. This story started around 5 years ago when I had to give a presentation at work. It went amazing. I felt great and confident, and I was sure that I sounded the same. But when I looked back at the recording, it sounded horrible. Talking to the camera has improved, but also making videos consistently every day. I learned how to work with sound, finally. The funny thing is that you can see the difference in results, but the main difference is not visible because it is about how I felt. Before I started this challenge, talking to a camera was challenging. It always resulted in something completely different. It's not even about the voice sounding different from how it is in my head. It's more about how you perceive the whole video, all the gestures, all the body language. I was so cooked up in my head. I was so tense that you couldn't feel any of the emotions that I actually felt while making the video. This challenge helped me to go from fake confidence to being okay. And surprisingly, being okay sounded way more confident than before. Also, this challenge contributed to a huge mindset change. But let me talk about my learnings first. The third place is what surprised me the most, is that confidence doesn't feel like confidence. It feels like ease. If I'm relaxed and content and I'm happy about talking, then you perceive it as somebody who's confident. I'm not very relaxed right now, but hey, I'm trying. They need to clean the streets right now, like right this second. They did not clean it 4 hours before, they're not gonna clean it 4 hours later. Ooh. I can see my microphone speaking that up. The second place goes to all of the tips on the internet that you hear about how to speak more confidently to a camera. And my realization was that they do not work for everybody. Wow, shocker, I know, but hear me out. The common tips are to speak louder and to add some emotions into your voice so it's not that monotonic on the video. But if you ever meet me in person, I have a very soft voice, in other words, quiet, and I'm not very good at dosing my emotions. So if I'm super enthusiastic about something, you're gonna see it. But if I'm focused and trying to understand something, I'm bland. As you can guess, for me, these tips did not help to feel more authentic on the video. What did help is to do it over and over and over and over and over again, and then repeat. Seriously, no extra tips were required, it just got better over time. My number one learning that made making videos 100% easier is to have a system. If I didn't have to think about where do I put the tripod, what's in the background, how to set up the lights, it's just easier to focus on one thing. And for the challenge, it was talking to the camera, and I can imagine for normal videos that would be to share the idea that I have, or to work in my b-roll, or to work on the sound effects. One thing that I found really useful for myself is to go through the whole video on camera as a draft and then record the actual video. I heard that tip before, but more in the form of just talk to the camera for a few minutes to get things going and then record the video. But for me personally, it really helps to just go through the whole video. That would be this section, and then I'm gonna talk about this, and then I'm gonna say this, and here we're gonna have some b-roll. Oh, I'm ready to talk. Oh yeah, and the mindset change that I mentioned earlier. It's amazing how much easier it is to learn in public than to pretend to be an expert. And it also goes for the topics where you are an expert. I feel like this is a trap that we're falling into when we start making videos. We're trying to be helpful, we're sharing some of the things from the areas where we are experts, but since we are not good at making videos yet, we don't really sound like experts. And I mean, that's probably not a problem if you're some kind of professor in rocket science and you have some unique knowledge. But let's be real, I'm an engineer. I don't have a unique sacred knowledge. The only reason people listen to me is if I'm entertaining enough. This becomes one of the most valuable skills I can possess. So yeah, yay for learning in public. These were all of the results of my 30-day challenge of talking to the camera every day. I'm super grateful to everybody who listened to me for the whole month and helped with their tips and feedback. I think doing this challenge was one of the best things I did in my whole video journey, and I should have done it earlier. And I'll see you in the next one.